And here we are at the Winnebago Industries Visitors Centre. It has a number of electric poles of 50 amp, sometimes 30 amp. And it has overnight guests, as you can see by these back end spots. Some of these folks will be here for Winnebago Factory Service, and others are here because they're passing through and they want to see the Visitors Center. As you can see, there are Winnebagos from California and other places. And this is the bus that's going to take people on a tour. We're in front of the Visitors Center and we will be going inside. Hello everyone. Welcome to Adventures with Indy and Jane. First of all, I'm sorry I'm not signing today. It's the logistics just didn't work in this particular venue. Today we're going to look at the Winnebago Visitors Centre, which has a wonderful museum and it's very well laid out. We'll go through that. We'll discuss what it's going to be like if you've got mobility issues. Sometimes you'll hear Indy, my lovely, lovely service dog. Hello there. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you at the other end. I was able to get into here because the doors are very, very wide, and although they don't have automatic doors, folks are always happy to hold the doors open for you. And this is the entranceway, and we're going to go in and say hello to the lady at the desk.
Hello there.
And what can you tell me about this wonderful new center?
All right, we have our history display through this door. It starts in 1958 because that's when Winnebago started. So we have old ads there to kind of get you in the feel of that. We have a virtual tour on our outside wall, 8 different TVs with something different on each TV, and it's on a continuous loop, so you just jump in. We have our old coaches for you to look at, coffee up there for you, and otherwise just look around and shop.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
You're welcome.
There's brochures on everything that Winnebago makes right now. And they have a brochure center for matters and things that are close by. We're now going into the history display. Forest City in 1958 had a population of 2766. Today that population is roughly around 4,000. The advertising that would have been out in 1958. One of the most interesting bits of information in here is that in 1947, John K. Hanson, who owned a furniture store in the town of Forest City and was a Winnebago Industries co-founder, his furniture store ran a promotion in 1947 that let farmers trade in their hogs for appliances.
You can't go because in case they call.
And his creative promotion made it into Time magazine. And here is the John K. Hanson room. It shows the 5 founders of Winnebago. John K. Hanson seems to have been the leader, and here's a picture of his office. The story of Winnebago Industries begins with the arrival of modernistic industries to a small town in rural America. And Modernistic Industries opened its door in 1958 and was the name of the manufacturing company before it was taken over in 1961. And the Forest City RV manufacturer renamed itself Winnebago Industries. And we're just going through the displays that explains the history of Winnebago Industries. Starts in 1958. It has a number of posters representing different movies in pulp culture. Pictures of Sonny and Cher in their Winnebago with their daughter. In 1968, it was a pivotal year for Winnebago Industries. They had a rapid growth. Winnebago sales soared from 1 million in all of 1961 to 1 million in a single day in 1968. Apparently at one time, visitors were allowed to go into the various trailers and let me just get a better picture of this here. However, the display vehicles, RVs, were starting to show signs of wear and tear. So now you can just have a peek inside. Winnebago let's try that again. Winnebago celebrated in 1998 their 40th year and their 300,000th RV. The displays seem to be well done. It gives a very good overview of their history. And when they build new models, they start with a clay model, and there's an example of that clay model in the visitor center, along with displays of various models of various Winnebago products, including Tonka toys and various other models. Winnebago now owns a number of companies: Grand Design, Chris Craft, and Newmar. Now, before I had my 2006 Itasca Sun Cruiser, I owned a fifth wheel made by the Grand Design Company. And of all the new RVs that I purchased, it was the only one where I only had a list of 2 things that needed to be fixed after I purchased it, which is really saying something. And I think the acquisition of Grand Design will hopefully help Winnebago with their quality control. There are videos on how Winnebagos are put together. Winnebago now also owns Newmar and Chris Craft. And there's a design your own floor plan depending on your size and whether it's a Class A gas or diesel, 24-foot or 31-foot travel trailer. Here's a 1994 Itasca Sundancer with a 1938 Chris Craft 17-foot deluxe runabout. This is a truck camper. Throughout the years, Winnebago's made many different types of RV. They also have for sale, as you can see, a number of t-shirts and other clothing and Winnebago memorabilia. Here's the back of the truck camper. And as you can see, when you consider how old it is, there's an awful lot of room in it. They have a clearance room, something for the kids. And they have a 1962 D22 Winnebago, which was one of their most popular motorhomes. Let me get a little further back so that you can see this marvel of engineering, certainly for the time. And because I'm in my Segway wheelchair today, this is really the best view I can give you, and for that I apologize. But you'll see that there's a bed on top of the dining area. That the front cab was very basic, and a carpet was used frequently. And this again was the 1967 Winnebago D22 motorhome. And it was on a P300 chassis, and it had a 137-inch wheelbase. It sleeps as many as 8, but I'm sure you'd agree with me that you'd really have to like those 8 people. And we'll move along to one more display RV. And this is a 1959 trailer. It was very basic. But look, it has a Traveler full-size stove. It had a generous fridge, very comfortable seating area, and at the back here is the bed. And we're going to the last of the hallways. And in this hallway are excellent tours of chassis prep and other videos on how the Winnebago RVs are being put together. And that's a good thing, because the tours that Winnebago offers are not mobility friendly. 1 hour of it is on the actual floor of the area that is part of the tour where RVs are put together. The other hour is spent going up many stairs to a catwalk, and you spend apparently an hour up there watching the production as it goes by. Now, this is excellent for able-bodied people. They get a good clear view, but it sure leaves us out. Those of us either in wheelchairs or with the inability to climb that number of steps. When I talked to them about it here, they did apologize profusely, but that was their tour. The other thing that I was advised is that Indy, as my service dog, could not attend, that no dogs were allowed, period. Unfortunate. So, the way to get around that is to watch some of these videos, and you'll sure get a feel for it. And I find that that is an interesting situation for Winnebago to be in when you consider that they're one of the major manufacturers that have at least 2 motorhomes that are fully accessible for most people. And here is a video on Class A manufacturing, Class C manufacturing, and B van manufacturing. Those are very accessible. They are nicely captioned. And this one is on the superstructure of Winnebago RVs. The next presentation is on aluminum, fiberglass walls, roofs and floors, and plastics. Now, there aren't seats at every video location, but I've been advised by the staff here that anyone who comes in with, it doesn't matter whether you have mobility issues or you don't, if you want a chair so that you can watch some of these videos where there are no seating areas, they'll be pleased to provide you with one. Thanks very much for joining me on the Visitor Center tour, and thank you so much for watching Adventures with Indy and Jane, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.